Oh, give me a second. Hello, Michael. How are you? Michael, have a seat. See the news, everything's fine. That's it. That's how it's going. Pretty good. It is. The only thing better on top of the day, we should start. But if you were to see it, that's your best, you know, for our showing up. If I would take it. Sure. Anyway. Just wondering.
Oh.
That's it. I think that, dude.
That's good.
So, here.
Are we ready to go? Yes. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order the creation is being part of the Compliance Board. The time is 6 p.m. These boards are good at the board, we just waiting to go through. I'm not sure if compliance with the East Coast ordinance is like. The members of the board are citizens and residents of the Village of King Park who volunteer our time and are not paid for our services. The purpose of each hearing is to give any alleged violators test the decision of the code compliance officer, which resulted in the issuance of a notice of violation, and to determine whether a violation of the village's code has occurred or is occurring. We are not authorized to dismiss violations based on hardships, ignorance, or the fact that others may be guilty of the same violation.
These hearings are conducted in a quasi-judicial manner. Our responsibility is to act much like a judge in a court, and that is to hear cases presented by the village's code compliance officers and to hear contradictory arguments presented by the alleged violators. We are not authorized to change the code. The village commission is solely authorized to enact or revise codes. Conversely, neither the commission nor the village manager have the authority to overrule the findings of the board. Pursuant to Chapter 162 Florida statutes, orders of the board can only be appealed to the Circuit Court of Miami-Dade County. We have the authority to assess and order the payment of civil penalties, to issue orders having the force of law, and to command whatever steps are necessary to bring a violation into compliance and to assess administrative costs. In order to make a finding upholding the code compliance officer's decision, we must find that there is substantial, competent evidence that the named violator was responsible for a violation of the relevant section of the code as charged. All documentary evidence presented by the parties must be submitted for placement in the hearing file. No documentary evidence will be considered unless the alleged violator or code compliance officer submits a copy for the hearing file. Each party shall have the right to call and examine witnesses, to introduce exhibits, to cross-examine opposing witnesses on any matter relevant to the issues, even though that matter was not covered in direct examination, to impeach any witness regardless of which party first called them to testify, and to rebut the evidence against them. If you intend to address the board and haven't signed in, please do so. Anyone wishing to address the board, and that includes anyone on Zoom, please stand and raise your right hand so you may be sworn in. You are reminded that this board is a quasi-judicial board and giving false testimony can be penalized.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Oh, as usual, I jumped ahead. Roll call.
Janie Anderson,
Here.
L. Blenton.
Here.
Rudy Hammerberg, Adolfo Barrientos, Michael Lanat.
Here.
Yeah.
Present.
Do we have any additions, deletions, or withdrawal?
We have a correction. 7.4. Where that was misspelled.
I'm sorry, which one?
7.4.
7.4?
The description was a misspelled word after wood.
I'm sorry. What I'd like to do, if no one has any objections, is take agenda items 7.3 at 1121 Griffin Boulevard first, followed by 7.2, 1016 114th Street, because those are the two cases our police officers are here to give testimony on. And then 5.1, because that's the same 1016 114th Street. It'd be 7.3, 7.2, and 5.1. When you're ready.
Good evening. My name is Doreen Grant. I'm the co-director for the Village of Biscayne Park. Our first case on the agenda is in new business. It's section 7, and it's item number 7.3. The address is 11121 Griffin Boulevard. It's for case number CE-26-0255. The property owner is 11121 Griffin LLC, in care of the registered agent Q&Q Business Services LLC. We are asking for an order of enforcement in this case. They have been found to be in violation of section 10.1, offensive noise. This is a short-term rental. We are asking a $2,000 penalty and the suspension of the license for 30 days.
Is the officer present?
Yes, the officer is here.
Speedy come forward. Officer, if you could introduce yourself and
Yes, good evening. I'm Police Officer Joseph Yosa with the Village of Biscayne Park. I responded to this call. We got a call of a noise complaint, anonymous call, always. When I responded, there was a large gathering of about close to 150 to 200 people inside the home. I was told by somebody in the party that they were celebrating the high school graduation. So there was about 3 to 4 different schools inside the house. We observed underage drinking, we observed marijuana, we observed cars parked in the median. We had to call other agencies to help us, just to keep the safety of the kids because everybody dispersed when they saw us and they called Ubers, they called taxis. So there was kids everywhere. And to keep control and to keep the safety of the children, we asked for assistance from other departments nearby. They did disperse, they did listen to us the first time, and we thank them for that. But we were never able to get the renters' information because nobody wanted to say that they rented. So that's why the incident report is incomplete as far as that information.
from the board.
Yeah, I got a couple. So I'm looking at your report. You have your report in front of you?
Yes,
And is this the narrative that I'm looking at? That's the same narrative?
yes,
Because you just said that there were 100 to 150 people or two,
between 150 to 200. I put 200 on the report.
you put over 200. So it was up around that number?
Yes,
Okay. I didn't see, you indicated that there were underage drinking there, but I don't see that in your report.
we couldn't clarify that it was alcohol, but there was a large smell of alcohol in
Okay.
the home.
And then I don't note that you that you called other agencies. What other agencies did you call in?
El Portal came out to help us, and so did North Miami. It says it right here, Sergeant Lopez got on the radio and asked for assistance.
Okay, it says it asked for additional assistance,
Correct.
but it didn't say that it came there. So it came there?
Yeah,
Okay.
when
So-
you call, they come.
Excuse me?
When you call, they come.
Okay, but you had indicated that the peace was gained. It didn't indicate that the peace was gained after everybody had showed up. So when you arrived, did you hear anything from the outside?
Yes, there was a large sound of music,
Okay.
people hanging out in the outside, as well as when they opened the door, people just started flooding out.
It was multiple high schools that you
Correct.
understood?
Well, that's what they told me.
Okay,
They gave me that voluntarily.
all right. And then as far as the dispatch, was the dispatch, who, was it a complaint from a neighbor?
It was an anonymous complaint, yes, a
Anonymous.
911 phone call from Miami-Dade Dispatch.
Okay.
The noise was clearly audible as far as the street when you
Yes.
pulled up.
Yes.
Very good.
Any other agencies?
Like I said, it was El Portal in North Miami that came out to help us. Yes.
All together.
Hmm.
How long did it take you to get everything dispersed?
I would say about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours.
Is the prop- is the property owner?
Sure, I'll stay right.
And while they're going up there, Doreen, let me ask you, you're asking for a $2,000 fine?
Asking for a $2,000 penalty
Okay. And is,
is a second offense.
it's a second offense? Okay, because it's usually 1,000, right?
It's $1,000 for a first offense, second, offense, is $2,000.
That's one of the, have the first.
Remember the first offense, there was a group of people that came, witnesses that live around the area?
Oh, yes, 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 yes. Okay. All right, thanks.
Would identify yourselves and your relationship to the property?
Right. Hello, my name is Kevin. He's Hugo. The company we host send us only for leasing the verdict final, cause we are not the owners, but we make the maintenance, on the property. And the owners or of the company send us for leasing only, but
Do you have authorization to speak for the owner?
yeah, actually, the owner has paid for the maintenance with the company, so
When you say maintenance, you're talking about mowing the lawn?
yeah,
Okay, so what do you have to do with this party?
only for leasing
Release it?
yeah, only for leasing. No. We don't to leasing. Yeah, we're here. Yeah.
Hear what the outcome.
Oh,
is.
just to listen. Oh, okay.
It's correct.
All right. So you have nothing to offer to rebut what the officer just said. Is that correct?
I'm sorry, say that again.
You're not providing any testimony today.
No,
Okay,
sir.
so you can step back then.
All right, so
Enter onto the record police report number BP 2605300000347.
Was that was the first time? The first one? Or is it that, oh, you're just introducing, okay. And when you said that there was a prior one, was that the one where the guy said he had some kind of noise monitor or something? Okay, okay,
The owner in that hearing.
yes, right, and that's how we learned from.
You've got the document,
Yeah, and
documents from the first one.
if I remember correctly, at the first offense, the owner said that he had some kind of a noise meter, but he never engaged it or never did anything about it. He just came and, said, I got a noise meter, but, it's like, well, why didn't you engage it or do anything?
The first one was the one where we had quite a number of neighbors.
Yes,
And
yes.
Remembering that, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, but before that, I just want to say that what I'm compelled by, first of all, is that the officer is here and that he's providing his own testimony about what he heard, what he observed, and what he saw. I would suggest, and that's very, very good, and that's what I'm basing my opinion on or my ruling on. In the future, I would suggest, and you kind of do some of this for a living, so I would just suggest that, the more that you write, the better that it is, just for the future. But I am compelled by the prior, the prior offense with multiple neighbors, and the owner was here, and I find that today he is not here. And he received notice of this hearing today, right?
Did receive, no, he was noticed, properly noticed.
Okay.
And property was posted.
I have no further questions.
No further questions. I'd like to make a motion on case number CE 26 0255 that a violation has occurred, assess a fine of $2,000 plus administrative costs of $500 paid by July 31st, 2026, or direct the village to proceed with lien. In addition, direct the village to suspend or cancel the short-term rental license.
I'll second.
Oh, I just would like one clarification, if you don't mind. The suspension, is that effective immediately?
The suspension is effective today because now we have adjudication.
We would want that as a motion. So we can move it.
Okay, well, I directed the village to suspend it as of today,
30 days.
for 30 days.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 4-0.
Thank you.
So we wanted to put it on the record that they have to pull all their advertisements from the platforms, Airbnb, VR, BBR, or whatever they call it. Wherever they're advertising, they can't advertise anymore when they're under suspension, when they're under a suspension order. What we've seen in the past is they continue advertising and sometimes they continue renting the places, but wanted to make it clear that they cannot rent the place and they cannot advertise.
Are they gonna get that information when you give them the fines and everything? Okay. And the gentleman over here, I'm sure, since they're listening, are gonna tell the owner, that you gotta pull all the advertising.
We will have that in writing because my concern always is so lost in the translation.
Right.
We'll have that in writing and all the specifics.
Yes, we include that on the order.
I believe this property is now for rent.
It's up for sale.
Oh, I saw a for rent sign also, so. Yes.
Sign is for rent. Yeah, you're right.
For rent.
It's advertising. We'll let them know. Take down the sign. Next case is actually no business in section 7, and it's 7.2. It's for the address 1016 Northeast 114th Street. It's for case number CE 26-0275. Property owner is 1016 Northeast 114th Street, LLC, in care of the registered agent, Northwest Registered Agent, LLC. We are asking for an order of enforcement, second offense, $2,000 penalty. They've been found to be in violation of section 19.1.10 for a loud party at a short-term rental location. And onto the record, I'll enter police report number BP 26061600394. We have the police officer here as a witness, and we have neighbors to give testimony.
What,
The property owner here for 1016? Representative? Okay, have a representative.
I do have one question. I see we have a police report, an incident report from back in March, but we never heard that.
I believe the March report, we issued a courtesy, it was a warning. We issued a courtesy notice. We didn't issue them. And the reason we did that was because there wasn't any loud music. It was loud talking. So I gave them the benefit of the doubt and just warned them.
Makes perfect sense.
so when you say second offense, was there ever an adjudicated case before the ones that are in our packet right now?
Yes, there was a first offense with $1,000 penalty that was adjudicated here.
And when was that?
Did you indicate that back in there?
Last,
November. Yeah, November 25, okay. So we should probably hear from the police officer first and then the neighbors? Okay.
Hello. Hello, how are you? Officer Michael J. Marchese, Village of Biscayne Park Police Department. I responded to this location. Oh, 10, I think it was 1012 Northeast 114th Street, pertaining to a loud music or party going on at that residence. It's a known short-term rental. We've been there before. On my arrival, which was on the Tuesday, the 16th, I did not hear any noise. I got to the front of the residence. I didn't hear any noise. I didn't hear any music at the first response. I went to the front door, one of the sides of the house. Normally I listen over that fence because the pools is where the action usually happens in these homes. I heard nothing. But I did see an enormous amount of cars around around the house and down Northeast 10th Avenue, some of which were illegally parked. I knocked on the front door and I met a Miss Clark. Miss Clark says she was renting the place through Airbnb. And she said that it was for her daughter's 18th birthday. Her daughter also came out. I believe her name was Jada. I instructed them to come to the front of the house and I explained to them that these vehicles have to move immediately. And every one of them had to get out of there. And they did immediately. I said, I heard no noise and I heard no music at that point in time. But obviously somebody in the area has complained and there must have been noise prior to my arrival. My reports, of course, are full of integrity and I did not hear any noise. So, but I told her if I return and do hear noise, any noise that's disturbing the tranquility of this neighborhood, they will be cited. Someone will be cited. They both understood. The mother said she understood. She said, for the most part, the party is over. And I did see approximately 30 children, 30 young people leave the party. It was a birthday party for her 18-year-old daughter. They left in private vehicles as well as a lot of Ubers. We get a lot of Ubers that drop these young people off. They left. And as it dispersed, it was quiet. It was quiet on my arrival and quiet on my departure. Approximately an hour or so passed by. I responded again to that location. It was at 1:13 a.m. Since it went past midnight, it was on Wednesday the 17th. On my arrival there, I heard loud talking, yelling, and screaming in the backyard. Absolutely over 150, 200 feet from the residence and the poolside area. I stood in the roadway like I always do, and it was extremely loud. People were yelling, people were screaming, and laughing, and you could hear it all very well, which was a disturbance to this neighborhood at this time. I walked to the front driveway, heard the same thing, went to the poolside, which would be the west side of that house, the northwest side of that house. And I listened over the fence and I heard the yelling continuing. I knocked on the door and I asked for the mother that I told that I would write the citation to, or her daughter, to respond outside. The daughter came outside, the birthday girl, and it was her 18th birthday. And I told her, listen, I told you if I come back, this party's over. I told you originally that we're not going to tolerate that in this neighborhood. No violations. And obviously the first time somebody must have called for a reason. And I understand the reason now. So I cited her. I gave her a civil citation on her birthday because her mother wasn't there. She said her mother wasn't there. Although the mother's car was there, she said the mother wasn't there. And the mother did say she had leased this through Airbnb. Once again, that's not supported by any documentation.
You mean the Airbnb was not, there's no Airbnb document that you saw?
No, none whatsoever.
Doreen, is it registered as an Airbnb? Okay. Go on, Wilson.
The daughter received a citation, civil citation, and I said, this party's over. Party was over. Everybody left. Everyone left except two of her friends. And that was going to be maintained on the inside of that the dwelling. Like most of the homes here, when they're inside, there's no real problem. It's on the outside pool side that they echo all across to the neighbors, which are zero lot lines in some cases. And I can understand it. So they all left. They left in an orderly fashion. This woman was pleasant to me, but she did receive a citation on her birthday. And all the cars left the area. There were no illegal cars, illegally parked cars, and there was no noise whatsoever when I left. And that was the end of the party. That was my entire involvement at that time.
Well, as a matter of a technical point, the fact that she was 18 and age of majority, she could receive that citation now, couldn't she?
Sir,
The fact that she was 18 and the age of majority, she could receive that citation now.
absolutely. It's her birthday.
Well, Officer Marquez, I got to say that your testimony is compelling, almost as compelling as your very detailed narrative. I think you might want to talk to Officer LaRosa about that, because it gave me a picture of of how you approach this and the manner in which you made your determination. And the fact that you just received a call and went out there, but you could not confirm what the call had complained about. It looks like you did about everything that we would want a Village of Biscayne Park officer doing in order to take control of the situation. And it sounds like you gave the birthday girl and her mother, fair warning. And it seems like that at 1:13, shortly after you left, you responded to another call, but this time from an anonymous caller, correct? And when you went there, you confirmed with your own ears and your own investigation what the anonymous caller was reporting at 1:13, correct?
That's correct.
And that was different than what you had confirmed with your own ears and your own investigation from the first call, correct?
That's correct.
And the first call, because you couldn't confirm it, you didn't issue a citation, but you issued a warning. In the second call, you did confirm what you were reported, and that formed the basis for your issuing this ticket, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. I mean, that's all I got.
I think you did everything possible in a fair and right and respectful way.
Right.
It's unfortunate they didn't learn from the first trip.
Now, Doreen, I also see that there's a letter dated July 7th that's also part of this. Is that somebody that's going to testify?
Neighbor.
Okay, but before they testify, I do want some clarity on this. There's another report of March 22nd, 26. Is that it was Officer, right? But Officer Yarosa was the one who dealt with that call?
Yes, and that was a warning. We didn't have him come over to testify because even though we've added this into the evidence and we've added other pieces of information from other incidents and police log calls, we wanted this to be the case that you adjudicated for the second offense.
Understand. Well, Officer Yosa is here, correct? Is that the gentleman in the back? Do you remember this call? Okay. I mean, if you want me to consider, I'm not going to consider this because this would be hearsay. If he wants to talk about it, I mean, I think we got enough to proceed with Officer Marchese.
Asked him, remember everything from 4 months ago. We have,
No, that's fine. But I just want to point out that it is part of the record, but it's not part of the record that I'm going to consider because it's hearsay. But I'm compelled by what I've heard from Officer Marchese and his diligent efforts.
we have neighbors.
And we all got neighbors, yes. Okay,
Officer, thank you.
Thank you. Am I excused?
yes. Thank you so much for coming. I
Thanks
appreciate
very
it.
much. Have a nice day.
Oh, yeah.
In case the property owner would like to ask questions.
Thank you, Brad.
And the property owner, you do have the opportunity, and this is a quasi judicial process. So if you want to cross-examine the officer and challenge what his recollections are,
I'd like to hear from.
and which is at the appropriate time, you will have that opportunity. And the village has the burden, so they're putting on the evidence now. And then you'll have an opportunity to do whatever you want with the witnesses.
Folks who were planning to testify in this case to witness.
Did you want to speak?
Property, the management company, you can, so you can go first and then the neighbors can.
Your name and your
Yes, Jessiana Escontrela, and I am the property manager of the property.
Oh, okay, before you start, you need to be sworn in.
Sorry?
You need to be
But she came in after.
sworn in.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing
Yeah.
but the truth?
I swear. Okay, so I would like to go back a bit to the first offense that we had, then on the second one and the actions that we have taken. And also, who are the neighbors? I'm sorry, so I can see you. Okay. And I mean, I live on a house myself too, and obviously,
And you statute to the mic.
sorry, and in any way we have tried to be disrespectful, neither to the people that we rent or anything like that. We actually manage other houses here in Biscayne Park. And really, this has been the only house problematic for us that had brought us the most challenges in this sense. I don't know, because of the size. On the very first offense, we added noise, like a noise, it's called Noise Aware, it's a noise monitor inside the home. Yet, as you can see in this second offense, it seems that the noise is coming from the outside, so it wasn't captured by our systems, the systems that we had put. Because, well, obviously, like if it's on the pool, it's not going to be heard by the monitor inside or not as loud as it should. Since we've gotten this, well, we took the listing down, number one, but then also we installed an additional monitor that will now capture the sound on the exterior of the property. And we have added cameras as well, pointing at the back too, so we can control the number of people that are there. And also when we see that something might happen, in this case, for example, that, you know, there were a ton of cars in the driveway according to the police, and maybe more capacity than what the people that was booking there originally, we can catch it before it escalates. So that's what we have done right now moving forward. And just want to transmit that our idea is not this, like you're free to get my phone number. I'm typically available 24/7. If not, Joher from my team is also as well. Our idea is not that it escalates to that. Now we have the measure so it doesn't. But we're also super reachable 24/7. The least that we want is that you are inconvenienced in any way. So, well, with that statement, I don't know if you guys have other questions.
I've
too.
got a couple questions.
Sure.
So firstly, let me just understand the sound monitor. You said you have it in the house because you have had a prior violation.
The November one, yeah, the 2025. I cannot remember the
Okay.
actual month.
And did you testify in that proceeding?
Joher came. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And this is the sound monitor guy, right? This is the sound monitor 1, 2. Did you have the sound monitor there in November?
We had the sound. Yeah, we had the sound monitor, but inside.
Okay.
We now got an exterior one as well because.
Well, let me ask you a question. I understand that. I heard the testimony, but was the first violation have to deal with noise on the outside?
I am not completely sure. I don't think so. No.
Okay. What happens if the sound monitor goes on and what does it do? Like, do you get an alert on your phone or something?
Yeah, I can show you.
No, I don't need to see. I'm
Oh,
just,
yeah, I have it. We have it on our phones, not only him
and
and
what
I.
would you do?
Well, you get a notification when there has been sound. We have alarms, and right now we have it above 70 decibels.
What do you do? Do you get in your car and you go over there? What do you do?
We live here 20 minutes away. So number one, we would call the guest before actually coming here and say, hey, this is going on. You know, you either stop it or not, and we can see in real time if they've stopped it or not, basically.
Okay. Now, on the night of this incident, you were not there, correct?
I wasn't there, no.
Okay. So there's nothing that you can really say that would challenge Officer Marchese's
Nothing.
sworn testimony?
Nothing.
Okay. So you don't challenge the fact that there were cars illegally parked in there?
Okay, exactly. I have no evidence on my end, just because we didn't have the cameras or the outdoor noise monitor. I understand that he had to come a second time because in the first one he couldn't hear, but outside from that, no.
And further, you don't have anything to challenge Mr. Marchese's testimony about when he got the anonymous phone call at 1:13 in the morning and went there and determined for himself the amount of noise that was going on and the efforts that he did as a result of.
That's correct, because the noise monitor was inside and that was quiet.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm not here really to challenge. It was more to explain to you guys what we have done. to the neighbors out of, respect, and we want to be good neighbors, number one. And then lastly, if there is any sort of like amnesty on the amount of the fine, what's the process for that?
Well, we're gonna get to that, but I just, Officer Marchese is,
Need to challenge.
okay, so he's, these guys are on the clock, so I guess we can let them go. You go enjoy their evening.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate it, officers.
Have neighbors who would like to give witness.
Sure.
Go ahead, sir.
All right.
Good evening, I'm
Mhm.
George. Can you swear me in or no?
Were you here when they swore everybody in?
I was here.
So you're good.
Okay.
So let me ask you a question. Where do you live in relation to this house? Like right next door?
Right
A
next
couple
to
of-
it.
Right next door?
Yeah.
East side of the road, opposite side of the road?
No, I'm on I border on the west side of this property.
So you guys share a property line?
We share a property line.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have access to, I can see or hear the yard and whatnot. So, I have nothing against Airbnb in particular. My main concern, and I can potentially propose a solution, is this is a 2-bedroom house. And it markets itself up to for 14 people.
Hmm.
So imagine who you're trying to attract. That's what's happening. This is why this house is repeatedly an offense. If you put it to 5, 6, 7 people, it's gonna be normal people. This calling for 7 people, for 14 people, 7 beds. I mean, I have the listing is down, but I should have taken a picture, but it says 7 beds, 2 private baths. For the most part, it's fine, but every so often we get these crazy incidents and we have door slams and loud music and screaming and yelling, and there's a nice pool in the back, so there's jumping around and there's police calls. It's not a good look. It's not great. I don't want to, I wish if I can get my wishes, it would be for them to modify the listing. I'm not necessarily saying close them down. I would just say, bring it down to a normal capacity adequate to that house. And then maybe things can flow as their other properties do. That's just my concern. And I'm right next to them.
Let me ask you some specific questions about the night of June 16th,
Yeah.
going into the June 17th. You heard Officer Marchese's testimony?
I did.
Okay, and with respect to what he testified to about the loud party and the loud voices, the yelling, the laughter, and around the pool, did you experience that yourself that
Yes.
evening?
Yeah,
Okay,
I did it.
and did you get awakened? Were you already awake?
No, I was awake.
Okay,
I was awake.
and how would you describe, the noise? Was it a dull roar? Was it offensive? Like, was it extremely loud? All the above?
Yeah, I can tell, like, just with doors shut, I can hear a party. That's fine. It doesn't bother me. The doors are constantly open. They're left open and music's just blasting out. The way that house is situated, it just carries over to my yard. Yes. I wrote a little
Okay,
message
so
there.
that's your email.
Yeah,
You're George Fermento?
yes.
Okay. Yeah, and you say here that, I mean, as you testified to here under oath, that excessive noise, constantly entering and exiting the doors were slammed, a lot of yelling, not an isolated incident. All true?
Yes,
Okay.
certainly.
How long you lived at your property?
No, I build the house. So it's just been this year. We finished it a couple of, maybe like 3-4 months ago, 3 months. My experience is limited in the sense that when I was there during the construction process, I would see, and now that I spend more time at the property, I am experiencing the effects of the night, and I was there, I happened to be there that night for the incident.
I mean, I guess it may be limited experience, but it's consistent in
Yeah.
terms of what you're experiencing.
Yeah, it happens pretty often. And then you'll see a note there that marijuana odor creeps into the yard, and
Not exactly welcome.
it's not great. It's not great, not ideal. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Anybody else want to speak? Yep, we got some more. Come on up.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, Charlene Korak, 1007 Northeast 114th Street. I live across the street, and I am the one who calls all the time with the police. I sometimes give my name, sometimes I don't. I have 12 documented phone calls on my phone right now from the last 2 years. Sometimes it's multiple times early morning. I get woken up, I sleep in a back bedroom on the north side of the street. There has been multiple parties where I don't know how many people they rent to initially, but it ends up being cars up and down our street, in our swale, on 10th Avenue, just every which way. And then the door slamming starts, the cars, the yelling and screaming, the loud noise, and then the garbage. They throw stuff in the garbage can and it echoes. We've had parties where people show up and I would consider them escorts because they're scantily dressed and they have their little suitcases.
You have to ask you in
Huh?
this case because. we
Yes,
were here
I called
that
because
night.
it woke me up.
We need you to stick to
Yeah.
that night.
Okay, yeah,
So-
it woke me up.
So you were the one that called at 113?
Yes,
Okay, you are not Charlene.
I'm Charlene.
You're Charlene.
I'm
Okay, so-
Charlene, yes.
So you called
Yes.
earlier and then you heard Officer Marchese's testimony?
Yes,
And was that consistent with your recollection?
yes, yes.
Okay, and he did speak to you that night when he first went over there and said he gave him a warning, he didn't hear anything, he can't do anything.
Right,
And you understood that.
yes.
But then when you called again,
It was,
It-
it
it was
woke
like-
me up again, so yeah.
okay. All right. Very good. Well, thank you
I mean,
very,
if one of you lived next door to what we've been through on our block, this wouldn't be happening.
and how long have you lived in Biscayne Park?
I've lived in Biscayne Park for 60-something years.
Okay. Welcome to the neighborhood.
Yes, I mean, I have nothing against the Airbnb. We had a lovely couple there from Germany. They were wonderful. We didn't want them to leave. They were quiet. They were respectful. They became part of the community. They were like, oh, we'll help you look for your missing cat. They were so lovely. It's hit or miss. But what's happening is like what George said, they're renting to a certain amount of people and then all of a sudden it's put on social media and you've got a party going on. And
And aside from this, and we are only here to talk about this, but you have at least called a dozen times.
oh, yeah. And I mean, there's probably times I've blipped it off my phone or for some reason I didn't document it, but yeah. And the police, I'm like, have them on speed dial. And they tell me to call when this happens because they don't want this. We're used to quiet, And we've had deaths on our block. We just had someone die of cancer. We have someone else with stage 4 cancer. I take care of a mother with Alzheimer's. I need my quiet. I need my sleep. And I know they're running a business, but there's got to be a better way to do it.
Well, as an owner, you have a right of quiet enjoyment.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for your time. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Anyone else on that?
Oh, we got one more?
How are you?
You doing?
My name is Carmel Ophir. I reside at 1035 Northeast 114th, about 3 or 4 houses down from this particular house. Between George and Charlene, they pretty much covered it. And I'm usually the last person to ever stand in a podium, complain, or make a call. This particular incident, though, changed.
And when you say this particular incident, you're talking about the one on June 16th going into the
Yes.
17th? Okay, so you have a personal recollection of that.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so
And
go on.
in general, to Charlene's point, many, many, many incidents. You kind of just let it pass by. I think the key word that I heard earlier was neighbors. You want to be a good neighbor, and that's fair enough and very welcome. The issue is that there are people that reside in the neighborhood 20, 30, 40, 60 years. In this particular case, on Tuesday, I had went to visit a neighbor. I'll leave them nameless if that's possible. We have a neighbor that she lost her husband the day before, 2 days before, and a couple of neighbors came over to help her out, bring groceries and so on. I came by about 9:30, and while we were there, and it was kind of somber, the music started to escalate, the noise started to rise, and although the people that were there, yeah, it was a birthday, now I find out, and it was celebratory, great. The issue is, again, this is where it's a little shaky, is I'm dealing with someone who's grieving, and there's a party 2 houses over, and it's getting louder and louder and louder. Fortunately, she has high impact glass windows, so it was a little bit quiet when the windows were closed. When I was leaving at approximately 10:30 and I was walking to my house, I had a feeling something was going to, it just wasn't going to bode well. As the hours passed and I was taking my dogs out for a late night walk, this is where I think the calls started to come in, complaints, and I honestly didn't know what to do. I was conflicted because I don't like being that guy. I think that, you want to run a business, that's great. If it's all above board and it's legal and everybody is abiding, great. But then there's these situations that you don't really know what to do. The following morning, after I thought about it, I had come down to the police station and where's that office? Yeah, and I just said, look, I don't necessarily know if I want to file a formal complaint, but I need everybody to be aware of what's going on, primarily because this is an ongoing issue.
Let me just interrupt you there.
Please.
So you went to the police station the day after the
day
event
after.
that was cited that's before us today?
Yes.
Okay.
And I was told because I didn't call at the time of the incident, they couldn't accept. Said, well, that's a little weird, but okay, fine. It is what it is. But I found the conversation and the dialogue actually very helpful. And everybody seems to be understanding that there's not a super villain here. What there is a situation that is progressing towards the wrong direction. And I need to say that aside from noise, there's an issue. We don't have sidewalks at Biscayne Park. It's walking down the street. There is increased traffic. There's increased speeding. Safety is an issue. Parents are walking their kids in carriages. I'm walking, and various people are walking their pets. There's a lack of respect, I would say, by those that don't live here, that are participating in a short-term stay. Come to Miami, it's great, let's have a party and so on. And believe me, I come from that world. I respect it. It's great. We're a great town, but neighborhoods are just that. They're neighborhoods and they're meant to be a sanctuary for those who live there. And this is a very unique gem of a neighborhood. It's a beautiful pocket. It should be preserved. It should be conserved for the people who live here and those that do move here and invest, not feel that they're making a mistake, because now it's becoming a rotational, short-term, transient situation, which in and of itself breeds lack of safety. It breeds strangers coming in for short-term, not caring about the area. To Charlene's point about litter, I'll add to that. When I walk the dogs, now they're seeing the, smelling the food. There's incidents of like chicken bones on the lawn. There's increased rodent activity. It's just a scenario in which there has to be a level of increased enforcement. I actually like the idea of that monitor situation, but that doesn't control traffic. It doesn't control the people that are renting and then calling and saying, hey, there's a party going on. This place is amazing. And then you have 20 people coming in, and then that's where they're parking in the medians and swales and so on and so forth. And I don't have an answer of how that can be controlled or enforced, but the idea now, and I'm hearing also that there are more houses applying for Airbnb businesses, or we'll say short-term rental businesses, licenses. And I would encourage another look at that. It's just something that will absolutely affect the fabric of the neighborhood. So if you have any other questions about that particular night,
Just
I'd
one
like to.
quick piece of information.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, local municipalities' hands to a large degree are completely tied. It seems like almost every year the legislature sends down new regulations that force local municipalities to actually loosen what they were able to do a few years ago. So we're not autonomous in being able to deal with it. So some of what you see is not the fault of local officials or of the police. It's what the edicts come from Tallahassee.
I sensed that was the case. The issue is, though, if we just go back to the basics, disruption of peace, noise violations, and my main concern, aside from all that, is the safety of those walking. There's not a lot of streetlights in the area. People walking their dogs,
That's
jogging.
certainly something we can deal with.
Yeah, you throw a little alcohol in the mix, it gets really loud, and then it gets a little.
If there are no other questions.
Yeah.
Motion.
Well, before you do, I just want to make a comment that, because I want to address, because there's testimony here. I wouldn't say that it necessarily conflicts, but it certainly does paint the picture of, we had Officer Marchese and 3 witnesses who all provided sworn testimony about what happened on the night of June 16th going into June 17th. And it's all consistent with respect to, what they heard, what they observed. In one case, it interrupted somebody's sleep. In another case, it interrupted somebody's morning on that road. In another case, it interrupted a new neighbor who had just moved in. We did hear testimony from the from the property manager that they installed these monitors. However, this is a second offense. And what really compelled me, because, I did hear George's, and this neighbor's suggestion that maybe we do something with regard to, the noise monitor and regulating. But the problem that I have with that is that this is a second violation. And back in November of 2025, there was a violation, and what overwhelms me is that this is, and we learned from the testimony tonight, that this is a 2-bedroom house, and you're advertising that you can sleep up to 14 people. And the excuse that there wasn't a noise monitor outside and we'll get one doesn't rise to the level of responsibility, because there's reasonably foreseeable that if you're advertising that 14 people can cram into that 2-bedroom house, that there are going to be people that are out by I believe it was a quote, a nice pool outside, that people are going to be congregating there. So I don't find that information persuasive at all, or the suggestion, enough. So I just wanted to put that on the record.
One clarification. On this case, this particular one, you're asking for the $2,000
Penalty,
and
the suspension for 30 days for this case.
to make sure.
So it's not a permanent, it's 30 days?
For this particular case, we're asking 30-day suspension, and then we are asking for more penalties after, but I'll let you roll on this.
Okay.
Want to clear that up before. Thank you. You ready?
On case number CE-26-0275, a violation has occurred second time, excessive fine of $2,000, administrative costs of $500, licenses to be suspended for the short-term rental for a period of 30 days, no advertising for rentals. The fines are to be paid by July 31st of 2026, or direct the village to proceed with moving forward with intent.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 4-0. I want to thank everyone who did take time to come out tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
So there is an addition that we had to add to this case, to this property. And it's 2 cases, CE 26-2, 296, and the other case number is 26-0299. These are new cases that we recently issued. After this incident, the manager was indebted with complaints, a lot of complaints from the neighborhood. Some of the people that complained have not showed up here. As you heard from the officer, one of the officers, in that one night, he was called out 3 or 4 times. With every call, there's expense for the village. So I included the call log in one of the additions, just to give the board an idea how many times police has had to go out there. And also to add that with every call the police gets, they have to report to code. And then code has to go out and do 1 or 2 inspections. So that's a lot of expense on the city. And the manager looked at that and looked at the history of the property and everything that's been going on with traffic and the safety issues. And the manager decided, as the administrator of the short-term rental license, to give these neighbors a break. And he requested to suspend this license for another year for the coming fiscal year.
What we already did tonight will suspend it for 30
30 days,
days.
correct.
Then, instead of it being allowed to renew on October 1, it will be suspended.
The manager is asking that we suspend it for a year.
Now, in this packet, I see the violation 0299. Do we not need to hear that?
So yes, I can talk about 299 because I made a recommendation as staff myself, going through this meeting with my higher ups and talking to the management. I called and spoke to someone in management and I asked them that there is so much going on with this property and I asked them to kind of halt. Let's wait and see what happens. Let's stop the renting out the property for now and let's resolve these issues. But however, they continued advertising, they continued renting. I had been out there myself several times and met with their tenants. So on, I believe, July 6th, I received an email from one of their tenants.
I was going to ask you how you got picked.
No, one of the tenants from the short-term rental who rented the place emailed me complaining about the state of the property.
One of the renters?
It was one of the renters, yes. The property has been infested with rats, gross. And she sent pictures of what they woke up to in the morning on the first day that they rented the property. They had to check out. There was rat droppings on their plates. There was rat droppings everywhere. And you can see from the pictures that she sent. The manager sent me out there right away. He said, you need to go to this property and I need you to get inside and see what's going on. When I arrived at the property, there was a gentleman checking in. So he let me in and I did see droppings under the sink. It was smaller ones than what the other person was, the pictures she put into the evidence. And
So did you take pictures?
I did take pictures and they should be there.
Okay. So some of these pictures are yours.
Some of
You
those
personally observed
personally
with the
witnessed
rat droppings and things.
and I saw droppings at the poolside and like the neighbor that is on the west side I had to actually inform them to do pest control because they're right there. And if there's droppings at the poolside, they're gonna get infestation on their property. So considering that this is a real health hazard, not just for the people they're renting to, but to their neighbors as well, we as staff are also recommending that this license is not renewed for the next year.
Hold on a second. So is that another agenda item that we're looking at? Is that
It was an addition,
that packet?
yes.
That's the addition. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, no, because I think I didn't download it for the OneDrive. So can I just see the file?
So there's not only the safety issue with the vehicles, now we have this health issue, safety issue that if somebody got sick with all this stuff we have going on in the country now, and these are transient tenants, they're coming from different states, they are moving back to where, and they'll take something with them and there's huge liability for the village because now this has been reported to us, we have to take action.
So you want this to be violated for 30 days if,
The 30-day suspension was for the second offense, that's
right, but that clock is going to end before October 1st.
correct.
So they'll be able to rent for several weeks and then,
Several weeks, I would say they don't, they they focus on getting this place cleaned up, but they can if they want to, if they do clean up the place.
You know.
But in the fiscal year coming up, the manager is.
So-
strictly-
procedurally, I'm just trying to understand this, okay? Because what you're trying to, what it seems like is being requested is that we prospectively assume that they're going to renew and that we want to prospectively say that we want to not allow you to do so. Is there anything in the short-term rental policies that indicate that this is where in there does it allow you or allow us as a village to do that when the violation that I see is 19.1.15, which is license required. So a license has not been requested, it's not even time for it. So that's what I need to understand.
Correct. If you read the whole ordinance, there are clauses in the ordinance that gives the manager or their designee the right to issue or cancel or refuse to give a license based on violating parts of this ordinance. Now, while some of these are property maintenance violations, in the ordinance is incorporated that they have a responsibility to take care of the property and take care of the, property in such a way that it doesn't compromise the health, the safety, and welfare of the village and the public.
So what I want to understand is that, and I understand the authority that you're saying that the village manager has, but and cite me to where that is, where it says that the village manager can prospectively take away somebody's right before it has even ripened to that point. Because if it's not there, then it would appear to me that the appropriate way to approach this is that the person file for their renewal and then get denied at that point, where the village manager is basing it on his rights and his power and his responsibility based upon the ordinance. And then there's whatever process for that homeowner to try to appeal or whatever. I don't think that this is
That makes a lot of sense, Mike.
right for us.
So this happened progressively. So when we talked about suspending the 30-day license when this violation happened, and we had a meeting with the manager suggested the 1-year suspension. Now, when we looked at the case, we realized this license is about to expire in 2 months. So it wasn't going to make any sense for him to suspend this license for a year. My recommendation is this license is coming up for renewal and we may deny.
I think the confusion set in because of saying renting without a license. Well, they're not yet without the license. Then you corrected it. And one of the things that appears to buttress or the ability for the manager to do this is, and I'll try to read quickly, notwithstanding anything otherwise provided herein by, this is chapter 19.1.15. Notwithstanding anything otherwise provided herein, violations of this chapter shall also be subject to all the enforcement methods and penalties that may be imposed for the violation of ordinances of the village as provided in the village's land development code. Nothing herein shall prevent the village from seeking all other available remedies, which may include but not be limited to injunction relief, abatement of public nuisance, liens, fines, etc. So it would appear when you have this level, and again, the confusion started with the renting without a license, which did not happen yet. But the village can, according to the way that reads.
Well, I know Dale wants to say something, but I just want to just add that I appreciate what you read, but I didn't hear anything in there that says that we have the right as a village to prospectively deny somebody's opportunity to apply for a license. And it seems to me that the village manager has that power to do it upon the time when that ripens. Maybe they don't, right? So how can we take away something that he hasn't even asked for? That's putting the cart before the horse. But anyway.
As a board, couldn't we request that the village suspend the license for a period of 1 year, which would mean now for a year?
You can.
Then in July or August of 2027, they could then apply for 2 months
And then we can deny it then too, if.
if things hadn't changed.
Right.
Not yet.
But procedurally, our ability to do that, I think, just expired when we just ruled and put that in the books as it relates to that last violation. And that was a decision that the village made with respect to how it wanted to proceed and what it wanted to ask the board for the relief that it requested and which it was granted. So I think that we're left with, they have a violation for 30 days, and then the manager's got a decision to make on October 1st. I think to deny somebody's right before they even exercise that right is is wrong on a lot of levels. And and that the homeowner, however responsible that they are for this violation that we've just adjudicated them on, and I think we adjudicated with exactly what you requested and the village requested, that they still have a right to apply. And at that time, when the village manager wants to exercise his responsibilities, then he should. And then there's a process for dealing with that denial at the, in that venue. But this is not the appropriate forum to do this.
Yeah, and I see what you're talking about, Michael. It's under, on page 10 of the ordinance. Section C of 19.1.16. Yeah, and under D is revocation license. So,
Which is all spelled out, suspension of the license, revocation of the license. You know, those are all things that are inchoate, if to use a legal term. It has not yet ripened. It's not here yet. And it's really not our responsibility.
I understand that, and I think the manager does understand the powers that he has. However, a case like this, it's always better to bring it to the public so the public understands what staff is doing.
Exactly.
oh, yeah.
Well, what if it's brought back to us in September? We know by then whether or not they're applying. We know how things are going. We can make our suggestions at that point.
But he has not applied. When he applies, there's a whole section here that Dale just pointed out, giving the manager the ability to suspend a license, revoke a license, deny a license. And at that point that's who needs to make that decision, not us prospectively. So whether it's September or whatever, it doesn't matter.
If that was one of the situations called, this would be penalized.
We don't have to weigh in one way or the other.
Right. This is just not the appropriate forum. The manager's got to do what, you know, he believes the right thing to do is, but it doesn't, it's not something that we need to be doing because we don't have the authority to prospectively deny somebody's right.
Understood.
I see your point, well made.
Thank you.
We still have to deal with the notice of violation 0299.
Is that the one with the health hazard?
Yes, ma'am.
Which number was that?
That's really,
No, where's it on the agenda?
it's part of what,
It's part of the addition, so if you would like me to read out the case number.
But I mean, that's the new agenda item that, which I have as 5.1. Is it under 5.1?
We put both under 5.9, if you want to hear them separately, that's.
But there's a violation. I only see the violation for the license suspended required, which we just dealt with. Is there another violation that you named?
but what, we really didn't have, because the way this was phrased was doing without a license, we don't have, that we would have to essentially dismiss.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so let's back up. Oh,
No, 5.1. So you're going to make a motion on what we just talked about, right?
in this- 9.6, we effectively have to dismiss because there was no renting without a license.
Do you want me to do it? Okay, is that this one right here? All right, so I'd like to make a motion on CE 26-0296. Based upon the facts and the discussion that we had tonight, I'd make a motion to dismiss the violation of license required because it has not yet occurred.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 4-0. Now, honestly, on 0299, because it was not on the agenda, I would like to table it, bring it back next month so it can be properly advertised.
That's a good idea.
It added it early, that would have covered it, but by not putting it on in additions, and it's not on the agenda, bring it back, please, but my motion would be on CE 26-0299 to table it and bring it back on August meeting when it can be properly agendized.
I'll second. Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. Go right ahead.
A judge once told me that when I kept arguing after he ruled in my favor, that I was going to snatch defeat out of the jaws of victory. If you think that you got to say something, but we've already ruled.
I really understand the point, but I still want to point out that we have had pest control in that house for the past 3 years. I can send. I know, but I just want it specifically for the officer because I even sent a letter to your email, Joe Hadid.
Saw the letter.
Yeah, exactly. This is a house. I mean, we all know that you can, even if you have pest control, even whatever you have, a crack can open in a house and you might have mouses come in. Like, even if you have the same as a roach, the same as everything, you may have the best in place and it's gonna happen.
As a property manager, if I were you, I would call them up and say that you're getting jammed up by the Village Biscayne Car Park and show them the photographs and maybe get your money back or get an extra service.
Yeah, certainly. I even switched companies and everything. I just want to point out that we are, we took the steps to fix that. It was a one-time happening. We took the steps and we had pest control before and after and we changed companies.
Running a public facility
Yep.
essentially.
I understand.
So the standards have to be
Indeed.
followed a lot more carefully.
Indeed.
And also,
And
there's
with-
there are a lot of traps in the house, so you are aware that even though you're doing pest control, for you to have that many traps in that house, you know you have rats in there. So it's
mean-
not acceptable to me, and the case is not being heard now. I'll leave that for when we bring the case.
My procedure is, not snatch feet out of the jaws of victory.
Thank you.
The next case is under section 8 of the agenda for fine reduction. And it's 8.1 for the address 11403 Northeast 8th Avenue. It's for case number CE 25-0929, Lavanta LLC in care of the registered agent Hernan Ademir. They're here for a fine reduction. Were found to be in violation of section 16.15.2 landlord registration. They have since paid for the landlord. They have obtained a registration, their registration. They paid some abatement fines that were assessed on the property. They have paid the fines that were assessed from the order of enforcement. But they have an outstanding fine of $3,000 that run over a period of time. They are suggesting and they're offering $500 and we are recommending the same amount.
I didn't see their request in there, but it sounds like nobody's disagreeing.
It's a
I don't see their document in here where they said that they. Okay, here I see it. Oh, it's just nice and typed up. These guys.
Yeah, it's ready to go.
Did you see it written? I was looking for the-
It was so easy. I was.
Wow. Very nice. Very good.
We recommend $500 as well to cover administrative costs
Yes.
because they paid everything else. Correct.
Landlord registration? Come on, that's an easy
Yeah, I
one.
gotta give
I
you
didn't even
something.
do that one.
She,
I do.
she keeps screaming the property.
What about file the lien, so you know,
Oh.
filing.
Congratulations.
One clarification, hang on. We didn't file the lien? No. Okay, so they filed it. You did?
So sorry.
Okay, it's fine.
$30 in filing fee.
My concern being that the notice of violation was issued in November. The landlord permit wasn't paid until after the lien was filed.
Right.
Deferred the filing fee expense.
Like what, $40 or is it more than that?
This was $21, around $21.
So $21, but did you consider that when you were putting together your 500?
Well, with the 500 because it's 250 usually for admin fees and the violation fine. So we're okay with the 500.
Good.
There are no questions.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate
Appreciate
Case
it.
number CE -25-0929, and then motion to accept the offer.
I'll second.
Thank you so much.
Pay by July the 31st for the, fine, remains.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 4-0. Thank you.
The next case is under section 6 of the agenda, and it's 6.6 for the address 120-25 Northeast Fifth Avenue. So case number CE 26-0048, Moore Schneider and Bar R.
Hi, guys.
Excellent. The fines have run up to $7,500. We don't have any permits at the moment. We have filed an affidavit of non-compliance. They were found to be in violation of section 16.14.1, double fee permits for an outdoor kitchen that was installed without first obtaining a permit. Property owner is here and he's asking for time.
All right, let me first of all ask you, has an application been applied for? Have you been in contact with the owner?
We tried to get in touch with them, but I learned today that they were out of the country.
Okay, and when was the violation initially?
When it was issued.
The violation was February
February 11th.
11th of 2026.
No, not February, sorry.
Yeah, we wasn't here.
Yeah, so 5 months,
5 months.
Yeah.
okay, and you're gonna get a chance.
So,
And the order was in April. And still no action.
There's still no action. Okay,
Well, to pay by,
I'm sorry, but the notice would have gone out. anyway.
okay. All right. So anything else to add, Doreen?
No.
That's it? Okay.
You would identify yourself?
my name is Mo Schneider,
And your relationship to the property?
and I'm the owner of the property.
Okay.
Mo Schneider. I just didn't see the violation, and no one contacted me. And I think 3 days ago, when I came back, I saw a notice on the door. Immediately, I came here, and this nice lady told me to come today to the hearing. First time that I doing something like this in my life.
So let me just understand that the violation, how is the violation communicated initially,
On the
like back in February?
The same way we do all violations, certified mail, we posted the property and we've emailed them because I met the wife, when we issued a violation to the house for another, violation. So she had been to the office and we did have her contact. So we did email them.
And so you have an email address for them? Okay. And when you said sent certified, did you do return receipt requested? Okay, that came back. Okay. Okay, and then you said you had an email communication. When was that? Did that get bounced back? And did that come back?
Email.
It went through. Okay. Okay.
So we was on the sorry. Take your time. So we wasn't. My wife was having a surgery, and I just noticed. I forgot your name. Sorry. Yeah, with my email address. So anytime that you guys need to contact me, it's going to be through me because my wife can deal with stuff like this right now. And I just.
You got it back she got it back in April. So your wife's, so you're.
We got back today, 2 or 3 days ago.
But you're testifying under oath now that your wife, was it the wife's email that it was emailed to? Okay, and your wife received the email?
I have no idea.
Okay, so.
She couldn't even see the email if she wanted.
Okay, so you can't say one way or the other whether it was received or not?
No, I don't know if it's received or not.
Okay, because you indicated that you just found out, when you got home.
When I got home, I saw a notice on the door, yeah.
But the testimony is, and she's providing testimony, we're listening to testimony, that's why we all swore to tell the truth. And that testimony is that there were two notices that were provided, three, one got returned, a certified letter, but two emails that were sent in April and in June that were not bounced back, and you don't have anything to rebut that. So so from my standpoint, you did receive notice, whether, I don't know what your wife's situation is,
Yeah.
but
I'm not arguing with that. Maybe she said, I see that she said the email right now. This is my first time that I see that she said an email. I didn't even know that this is how it works. I saw the notice on the door and I reply immediately. I called to my contractor and I just need more time.
You know, they, September 29th, but the daily fines, so you have to understand, will continue until such time as not only is the permit pulled, but that the inspections are all final. We'll give you until, well, I'm sorry, if the board agrees, we'll give you until September 29th to actually pay for and obtain permit. The daily fines have to continue.
How much is the daily fine?
The fines are $250 a day.
however, there's a silver lining. The folks that you just saw testify or come up here, once you get everything straightened out, the daily fine is going to keep going up. Then you can apply for a fine reduction.
Okay.
Okay?
Sounds good.
But that'll be another hearing. You'll have to come and tell us,
No
what
problem.
you want, and we'll have a lot of reliance upon the work that they had to do.
100%.
So the best thing that you can do is to really stay in communication and get it done and then come back.
Be there.
Yes.
No problem.
Nobody has any other questions? In 2260048 of
So I have 2 months?
We're not yet. We haven't voted yet. Just hold on a second. You might get it.
I didn't know it.
for a permit. Daily fines to continue until the project is finalized, when the owner, if he so chooses, can come in for a fine reduction request.
Thank you.
A second. Aye.
Done, sir.
Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it.
Good night.
The next case is under old business in section 6, and it's 6.1. For the address 910 Northeast 120th Street. This is for case number EEN 18-0753. Property owner is Frank Martin Cat. Intent to lien for $100 that has been unpaid for the last 8 years or 9 years, 8 years. They're still non-compliant. This violation was for a recreational vehicle trailer that was parked in the driveway behind, not obscured from the view of a public street.
Have you had communication with this?
We tried to communicate. There was no answer at the door. We don't have any email address for this person. This is a very old case from 2018 that we found in the records, and it's just been outstanding. So it was an order of enforcement, so we are asking that we lien the property for $100.
For $100?
Yes. Oh, this boy.
Normally, I'm all in, but when you consider the fees and parking for the I mean, it's, no, I'm usually all in, but
To lien $100, I mean, we would have, yes.
Yeah, I mean, you got,
50 administrative for today, that makes it 50. Doreen is ruling on the case.
No, that's what I was going to suggest, move forward with, requesting the lien to be filed, is that we ask for 250 administrative.
okay. God, thank you. Thank
So
you.
it covers our costs.
Okay.
And, there's $100 that would be out there, and I believe there's a few interest.
At 18%, yes.
About that.
Property, non-payment.
I forgot about, we had the 250 admin fee, which. Oh,
And that's not to be punitive, it's just that it
No,
hasn't been
just-
paid, and
right.
property's still in the same owners.
Right.
and the filing fee would be about like $20, $30, you said?
Around 21.
Yeah. To add on to that. Okay.
If there are no other questions, I'd like to make a motion on case number EEN-18-0753. Have requested the village, move to lien $100 plus an administrative fee of $250 plus the filing, and applicable filing.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 4-0.
The next case is 6.2 for the address 920 Northeast 108th Street. It's for case number CE-26-0028. Ilan Hamami is the property owner. We're asking for an intent to lien. The lien has, fines have accumulated to $7,000. Found to be in violation of chapter 5.6.1A1 off-street parking. The property does not have an approved parking surface. Now, this gentleman came to the office and he asked for more time because he has a medical hardship. He has had several surgeries and hasn't been able to get himself together to apply for a permit. This will be up to the board. We have filed an affidavit of non-compliance.
Right now,
But he has come in and made an effort.
Correct.
wasn't that back in February, and did he come in recently? Because I see that before
He came last week, yes.
last week.
You see, that was all email. I think this probably.
He came in person. Mhm.
And did this resident have notice of tonight's hearing?
Yes, he
Do
did.
we know why he is not here?
Well, I did ask him to come because I explained to him his personal testimony would be very compelling. And it is a compelling testimony because when you look at him, you see the scars of his surgeries. They are like everywhere.
One other question, did he have any indication that he intends to move forward with applying for a permit, or?
He said he has, yeah, he showed me text messages. He's been talking to contractors back and forth, and he is looking for someone. But he's been on such heavy medication that sometimes it's not easy to comprehend what he's doing.
Is he married? Does he have a significant other at the house? Did you communicate with anybody other than him?
I did not ask that question. I'm sorry.
We do that.
Well, no, I'm just wondering because I'm looking at his file and there are things in here which, just like the police reports, you read them, but there's nothing to really back it up. If there was a family representative or somebody here that says, hey, so-and-so has got these issues and, there'd be something to look at and as compelling as it is, it's not sworn testimony. And that's the same problem that I have with, we talked about before. So
Mentioned that he gets very nervous to speak in public, so he didn't feel comfortable. I mean,
we have a Zoom link as well. So from the comfort of his home, I mean, I think that,
suggest all that.
and you suggested all that. Okay. I mean, the bottom line is that when did we get into this, compliance thing for the driveways? This has been a few years now, right?
No,
January of
23rd.
26.
Yeah.
Because some drive.
No, I mean, the changing of our driveways, that whole thing has been years in the making.
So, but some of the driveways were not as bad, so some of them have deteriorated over the years, and this is why we issue
Right.
violations now.
Okay.
I have no problem giving him one more chance because the daily fines are kicking in anyway. Before we do the lien, I mean,
Janie, I love it. I love it. Make your motion. I'm going to second it.
okay, in CE 26-0028, violation has occurred. Give the property owner until September 29th
Wow.
to obtain and pay for a permit. In the interim, the daily fines are to continue until such time as the project is completed and finalized.
You gonna second?
I will proudly second.
If there's no, permit obtained, are you directing the village move?
Thank you.
move to lien?
Thank you. Yes, if no permit is obtained by 9/29, then the village can move forward with the lien inclusive of all filing fees
And
and a $250 admin. So I'll repeat it so that Vanessa can get all my notes. Give the property owner until September 29th to obtain and pay for a permit. Daily fines to continue until such time as the project is completed and final. If a permit is not obtained by 9/29, village to proceed with the lien in the amount at that point inclusive and including filing fees and an admin fee of $250.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 4-0.
Did you say admin fee of $250?
No, admin fee of $250, right.
Next item is 6.3. No, we did that one. 6.3, it's for the property located at 931 Northeast 120th Street, and it's for case number CE 26-0126. Property owners are 3931 Northeast 120th at LLC. This is an intent to lien, non-compliance for landlord registration. We don't have a registration applied for as of today. Fines have run up to $4,000. And we are asking that the board gives us the go-ahead to lien this property.
Any correspondence or response from the landlord?
We haven't had any
No correspondence, no
communication.
here.
We've tried to reach out, but there's been no.
Did the certified letters come back or did they get them? Okay.
Got the certified mail and we posted the property.
And this is non-homesteaded property.
Nothing else? No questions? I'd like to make a motion on PE-26-0126. Violation did occur and request direct the village to move forward with leaning the property of $4,000 as of today's date, plus $250 administrative fee and filing fee.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 4-0.
The next case is 6.4, and it's for the address 11315 Northeast 9th Court. Property address is CE-20, I'm sorry, that's CE-26-0165, and the property owner is PRBP4 LLC in care of the registered agent Rodon Alvarez Law PLLC. They are asking for more time in violation of section 18.6.13 temporary construction. They do have a construction permit for new construction under review by the building department, and we just need to give them more time to be able to go through that process.
You have suggestion if we- what we're looking at.
50 days.
And this is just because the temporary construction fence is just met its end? Okay, so it's
Okay.
not that it's in bad shape or anything, because,
No, it
okay.
expired and they just have to renew it. In fact, I had a meeting with the building official regarding this case, and they may just extend the expiration of the fence, or they may have them apply for a new fence, but they won't have them take it down because it's already up.
If we give
They
them-
had it up because they had a demo on the property.
Can we give them 2 months, September 16th?
Well, she suggested 90, what,
Because they have
Okay.
construction permits in review.
October 14th. Does that work? Everybody? Okay. I'm sorry?
That's in order of
In case number CE 26-0165, the violation has occurred. Allow the property owner an extension till October 14th.
I'll second.
All in favor?
aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 4-0.
Do you hear that? He's on Zoom.
Oh, I'm so
Thank you very much.
sorry. On Zoom. I forgot, I'm sorry.
We were compelled by your testimony.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
No.
Doesn't need to
Thank
be.
Oh.
I still hear, just turn off my camera. Sorry.
It's okay.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Next item is 6.5. And it's for the address 11801 Northeast 10th Avenue. Case number CE 25-0942. Property owner is 11801 Northeast 10th Avenue LLC in care of the registered agent Estrator. I mean, I've had to say this name so many times, I still can't pronounce it. I'm sorry. Leontis. Estrifers? That's what he says. We have filed a affidavit of non-compliance on this case, asking for an intent to lien. Found to be in violation of section 8.4.31B, property maintenance for accumulation of trash, large piles of dry vegetation. The fines have run up to $11,215. Oh, they run from 2/13/2026 to 25/25? No, New Year's to 2/13. I'm so sorry. Yes, the fines run from January 1st, 2026 to February 13, 2026. And the total amount is $11,215.
So this is about trash that was there that they got the fine, they didn't pay it, so the daily fines have been going, is the trash gone?
Yes.
Which is now gone, they're in compliance, but they are non-compliant for the fines that haven't been paid.
And have you had communication with the resident about that?
Yes, Raphael?
Yes, yes,
Have you been sworn in? Just kidding. Right.
yes, I have, and he's just not doing anything.
I mean, what conversations have you had?
Communication is, I'm gonna apply for a reduction, I'm gonna go to the village hall, thank you for calling, but
So he knows you had communication and he received notice of tonight's hearing?
He was in
know- and
office.
And these violations? And what was happening when he was in the office? Was visiting or was he applying?
Raphael about he'll do what he's supposed to do and then he doesn't.
Okay. Okey-doke.
-25-0942. Affirm that the order of enforcement plans move the village to clean the property in the amount of $11,250 as of 7/6, plus administrative costs of $250 and applicable filing.
All second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 4-0.
The next case is 6.6 for the address 120. We just did that one. Okay, we did that. That's the kitchen. So it's 6.7. Address 120-35 Northeast Fifth Avenue, case number CE-26-0083, Richard Bernard Costa and Richard Juan Costa. They're asking for an intent to lien. Found to be in violation of section 16.13.1 for exterior paint. They used an approved color for the roof. Yes. Fines, they haven't complied as of today. And fines have run up to $7,250.
Been any communication with anybody?
Yes.
yes, I have. My apologies. I have called him several times, but the phone, you're not able to leave messages. He says something is not set up or, so I haven't been able to speak with him. I do see their vehicles parked. I knock on the doors, but no one comes out. So there's no I've never met them. So
you've made several attempts?
yes, several. Yeah, yes.
And when we adjudicated this, did the owner come in that time? No.
No, they've never been in front of us.
Did they get and they did this without a permit too?
Yeah, they have, yes, they do, because it's in an unapproved color. Yeah.
Oh, I
And,
see.
just to add, Gage, likes the color, and he said, all you have to do is come in here and apply. We're not going to deny it because it's a nice looking color, and it blends well with the village. So you just have to apply, and, yeah.
Okay.
Dollars going in front of P&D and you're
It's a simple process.
I mean, that's a classic example of if you can't ignore a problem and expect it to go away, it just gets worse. And that seems to be what happened because it seems like there's an easy solution, but he's not doing what we've been attempting to tell him and have told him with our notices.
And I found it very unusual because most residents are very, they come forward.
in my opinion, doesn't really count, but I mean, it's very attractive. It's hard to believe they'd have a hard time. Just go.
Yeah, yes.
Case number CE -26-0083, from that order of enforcement of May 13th and direct the village to lien property $7,250 as of July 15th, plus admin fee of $250 and filing.
I'll second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 4-0.
Next case is 6.8 for the same address and same property owners. It's number CE -26-0164. This is another intent to lien, found to be in violation of section 5.3.4.4D, objects on the swell. They have since complied, but the $500 that was assessed for administrative costs and violation fine have not been paid.
Well, let me ask this question. If they complied, they would have received a notice in the mail about a violation and specifically about that. Okay, because
An order.
okay, because there was no communication still, even with regard to this one, correct, Raphael?
At all. And in fact, they did remove the triangle, but he went ahead and put one of those green children.
Another little.
Yeah.
They-
So I don't understand in the traffic in that Fifth Avenue is really under control.
Oh, really?
Yes, the construction that's going on, they've been really respectful. But because we've gone there, we put those orange
Cones?
plastic wrap.
Stripes.
Yeah, so I don't understand. So he hasn't been cited yet for that. He's not supposed to have that. So he will get cited.
Right.
But I will make another attempt to go and knock on the door and let him know. Because like I said, I've never met him before. So, and yeah.
Well, it sounds like he doesn't want to meet you.
I know, right? I was pretty shocked because everybody wants to meet me. No.
I'll go there, Michael.
Oh, there you go. There you go. That's what he will take.
Someone would like to make a motion?
Case number CE-26-0164, that violation did occur. Direct the village to lien the property of $500 plus $250 administrative costs and applicant filing.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0.
Next item, section 7, new business. It's 7.1 for 1015 Northeast 112th Street. It's case number CE-26-0099 for Breaking for Lace LLC in care of their registered agent, Harvard Business Services, Inc. We're asking for an order of enforcement found to be in violation of section 8.4.3.1F, roof maintenance. They are still non-compliant and very non-responsive. And the house is for sale.
No communication, Raphael?
Nope, nothing.
You've
They were
been to
they
the
were
house?
good they were good for at some point, but then the communication just dropped. I find out that the property is up for sale. So none of the realtor that is managing the property, they came here in front of us, actually. She's just not responding. No, not Nancy. It's another company in Miami Beach. Morgan something, right?
Well, I do see this is all.
Yes, it's a rental property and is a Delaware registered company. And I also reach out to the Delaware registered agents, and they did acknowledge receiving our documentation. And they forwarded to the owners, but they could not display the owner's address. So
Okay.
There's no further questions. I'd like to make a motion on case number CE-26-0099. The violation has occurred. Assess a fine of $250 plus $250 admin fee. Bring the property in compliance by August the 15th, or
15th is Saturday.
pardon?
15th is a Saturday. Usually do it the anticipate days.
By August the 14th, or $250 per day fine thereafter.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 4-0.
Next item is 7.4, and it's for address 11915 Northeast 11th Court. Case number CE-26-0240, Michael Bittner. You're asking for an order of enforcement found to be in violation of section 16.3.1, building permits required. An 8-by-8-foot area was enclosed with a wood border and filled with crushed limestone without obtaining a permit first.
And what does that fall under? Is that a driveway
It's
violation? I can see that.
You know, when they do driveways, they're supposed to leave a certain amount of space with greenery, and they just built that thing that they need to park on, but it's not.
What if they
Ye-
put, what if they did that to
Eh.
put a swing set on there? Would that be okay?
what?
Or, I mean, in other words, it's an 8-by-8 square with rocks in it, right? So is the perspective that you're bringing this violation is that is going to be used as a parking surface?
They did say yes to that. They
Yeah.
built it for parking, but they've decided they're gonna take it out and plant some.
Okay.
If I may ask, the property owner, actually, I don't think he's the property owner. I think he's related to the property owner. Mr. Michael came and he met with Miguel Nunes, the assistant building official. And so Mr. Brittner present to Miguel the plans, the picture. And so Miguel also suggested there was no clear purpose of usage. Miguel didn't understand what they were trying to do. So Miguel suggested that it go in front of the planning and design board as a discussion item, present their idea for the design planning to help them out. Yeah.
I mean, because you can do anything on that thing.
And then he told me that he was going to send me an email requesting an extension. I never got it. And I went by today and the pile of lime rock is still there, as well as the.
Is there a car parked on those rocks?
No.
Is the chapter that he cited under. It shall be unlawful to construct, enlarge, alter, repair, move, or remove, or demolish any building, structure, or any part thereof. He changed the graph.
Right. Right.
Is that something legal that he did? That's one issue, but the other issue to me is, I just don't feel this is the right.
Code?
Well, I agree with you, Janie, and that's what I had questions down here for. Because me, they may be putting a little, table and chairs out there.
Right, or a swing set.
That would be there, or a swing set. The issue would be the pile of rocks that remain on the tarp, to me. And whether those other rocks remain, if I see a car parked on there, that's to be cited.
Right.
With parking space.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm at this.
I like that.
Now, which,
You'll find out.
okay, if nobody has any other further questions, any comments from staff? Nope. In CE dash 26-0240, I make a motion that the case be dismissed.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any motion passes.
I believe those were all the cases we had for this agenda tonight.
Look, it's 7:00.
Yeah.
No?
8.
Into the minutes,
There were. We got a little carried away. Or at least I did.
minutes.
I did.
Any adjustments, changes?
Well, the only thing I saw, and is nothing big, is on 6.2, I had that I had seconded.
Yes,
You
I had
seconded.
that too.
Oh, okay. Well, on 6.2, I believe, Vice Chair Dale Blanton seconded the motion.
And I had, in the case of Judy, her excused absence is for tonight's meeting.
Right.
So that should be July 15th. Anything else, Michael? Bordeaux?
Nope.
Good? Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the June minutes with those two corrections.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion passes 4-0.
Just one, it's not really a discussion point, but on this short-term rental notices, permit or license, does the village go out and inspect the property at the time?
Yes, we do.
And do we note the number, because I believe, as I read it, the number of bedrooms, and can we limit the amount of overnight guests per there? So if there are 2 bedrooms, I can understand there might be a pull-out couch. To me, that would be about 6
Exactly.
people, maximum 8.
Right.
But,
What I'll do,
Huh?
this particular property, I believe got some permits to adjust the inside of the house, and there's a part of the house that has been converted to, I think, 2 extra bedrooms. But I will have to go back in the system and confirm that the permits went through and all of that.
I haven't,
Because during our inspection, we have seen 2 extra bedrooms.
okay. So, no, I was just wondering for any property, and,
Oh, yeah, we do. We do check the number of rooms and we have to compare it to.
Because 14 is a lot, I think, even with 4 bedrooms.
What they've done in one of the bedrooms is they have bunk beds. So they have like one room, 4 bunk beds, and then another room, 4 bunk beds, and then garage is also converted to a bedroom, and that's something I'll check to make sure they did get permit for that.
Okay.
But
okay, I take a motion to adjourn.
second.